up, realists? It's your man, D Real, the Black Panther stalking the urban jungle and vibrating Adidas, bringing you yet another Be Real with D Real. How's it going, y'all? Let's just get into it. Cartoons were dealt a terrible blow this month when the New York Times columnist Charles Blow went in on PePe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez, saying that PePe Le Pew promotes rape culture and that Speedy Gonzalez is the image of the prototypical inebriated Mexican. Okay, first, I did not know that there was such a thing as cartoon cancel culture. Wow, that's a thing. Why are we canceling cartoons? Cartoons are cartoon characters, more specifically. So much to the point where PePe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez have been removed from the upcoming Space Jam 2 featuring LeBron James, which is kind of sad because I read in, I believe it was Details, that actress Grace Santo, one of the stars of the show Jane the Virgin, actually had a deleted scene where she kind of gave PePe Le Pew what he deserved for being a little too, handsy and aggressive. Now, Charles Blow, I need to read this quote real quick. So I'm actually going to read this off a piece of paper because I don't want to get it wrong. And I want to read this and make sure that I get it right. He's quoted as saying, he grabs and kisses a stranger repeatedly without consent and against her will. She struggles mightily to get away from him, but he won't release her. He locks a door to prevent her from escaping. Okay. I can see, brother, I appreciate your observations. But again, I don't know any man anywhere on this earth who will admit to being influenced or inspired to rape a woman because of PePe Le Pew. Now, if we want to get into somebody who deserves, a cartoon character who deserves to be canceled because they're rapey, it's Bluto from Popeye. But I'll get back to that in a second. I think the reason why we're dealing with PePe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez and all of these guys, things of that nature, because Space Jam's coming out, this summer, and we want you to be aware. Now, if we remove PePe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez from Space Jam, why do we have to talk about the fact that we removed PePe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez from Space Jam? Why couldn't people just notice that PePe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez weren't in Space Jam? And then when they said, we demand to have PePe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez, then you can tell them why. But I think this news article is what prompted all of this cartoon cancel culture. And if we're canceling cartoons, we better. I got a short list, my short list of cartoons that need to be canceled. Real quick, of course, at the top of that list is Popeye. Why? Because Bluto's not just rapist. Bluto is psychotic. Okay, because not only does, well, first of all, olive oil is a fickle little, choose the expletive of your choice. That for every episode, she's with Popeye, but she's looking at other men constantly. Okay. Why we ain't talking about that? You know what I'm saying? That's toxic. That's toxic behavior. Every time I take you somewhere, you messing with men, you hollering at men, you smiling and cheesing at men. But we ain't gonna talk about olive oil. Not to mention my man Bluto, who goes with it, he rolls with it, and then once he gets her behind closed doors, or once he gets her by herself, he's like, "Give me a kiss. Let's make with it. Let's get down. Let's do what we do." You know, and when she refuses, he tries to kill her. You know, I've watched plenty of Popeye episodes where he's like, if you ain't giving it up, you die. I'm tying you up and I'm gonna throw you on a railroad track. Uh, I'm going to hang you off the side of a cliff and set the rope on fire. All kinds of stuff. But we ain't talking about Bluto. You know what I mean? If we're really, trying to do something about rape culture, because he's the rapiest cartoon character I can think of off top. If we're canceling people for their behavior, if we're canceling Speedy Gonzalez because we think he's the prototype of the drunk Mexican, then we need to cancel Helga Pataki or Hey Arnold, and we need to cancel Roger Klotz or Doug because they're both bullies. Since we're canceling things, let's just go on ahead and cancel stuff. Now, I don't think that you should learn about rape culture from a cartoon. Toxic masculinity is one thing, but just trying to squash the exuberance and testosterone of a man that wants to meet a woman, that ain't rape culture. Okay, if that's the case, then men should never step to women. Women should always step to men. That way, if something goes left, we can go, you came at me. I didn't even want to be bothered with you. I mean, if it's rape culture, if we're being honest. But I know what I'm saying is going to be misconstrued. But Linda Jones, who is the daughter of Chuck Jones, one of the creators of PePe Le Pew and Speedy Gonzalez, she says the running gag with PePe Le Pew is about how much he stinks and how much he stinks, wink, wink, as a suitor. That's the running gag. And for all of you people that are like, PePe Le Pew is rapey and he shouldn't, do y'all remember the cat's name that he was always in pursuit of? See, y'all up in arms, ready to cancel somebody and don't even know who you defended. Okay, for the record, cat's name was Penelope. And if we're having all of these coincidences that look like rape culture, I find it coincidental that Penelope always finds a way to get a white stripe on her back. Okay, hence it's the running gag. In 1945, the first ever PePe Le Pew cartoon was called Odorable Kitty. Cute. I like that. That's clever. That's shrewd. Okay, but to understand where we're going, we have to first understand where we've been. PePe Le Pew debuted in 1945. Speedy Gonzalez debuted in 1953. Think about what the mind state was in this country in 1945 and 1953. That's the byproduct. And then not to mention all of the racist tropes that appeared in Warner Brothers cartoons. Speaking of racist tropes, man, Dr. Seuss and them getting drug over racist tropes. My goodness. But now he deserves his rancor. But I'm not talking about Theodore Geisel's work right now. We're talking about folks like Chuck Jones, Mel Blanc, these people. I don't think their intent was to create rape culture so much as it was the 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 order of the day. You had stuff like the Continental, and this cat was smooth and romancing and suave and finessing women and that kind of a thing. And that's what was going on back then. That's what that was born of. So now, if we're following pattern, then in the 21st century, all the cartoons that come out now are going to be on eggshells, and because we don't get that we live in a culture now where we've created this dynamic where people don't even want to speak out of fear of saying the wrong thing, that people don't even want to engage or interact with one another without being made to feel like they're not in control of their emotions or they're not in control of their actions because of something they say or do. I mean, what happened to good old-fashioned lighthearted fun? Okay. When I watched Looney Tunes cartoons as a child, and I laughed and laughed, and I still laugh. Personally, Bugs Bunny and Foghorn Leghorn are my favorites. And let's just be honest. Foghorn Leghorn is a lying, conniving, abusive rooster. I mean, what you gonna do? If we're canceling things, let's just go ahead while we're at it and cancel Wile E. Coyote. He's a sociopath. Why are we promoting sociopaths? You see what I'm saying? You've got to handle this stuff with kid gloves. You can't go all the way in the other direction overboard, because that's not what this is about. You know what I'm saying? We're doing to if we're canceling things that are offensive, well, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion were offensive to a lot of people at the Grammy Awards with their performance. Should they be canceled too? You see what I'm saying? Are we cherry picking who we cancel, or do we just go, that action is a cancelable offense, that action is not? And who's in charge of cancellations? Is there an office of cartoon culture cancellation? I mean, who says who gets canceled? But back to Buddha. I really think if you're gonna cancel one, that's the one to cancel, okay? Because my man is literally a rapist and a murderer, or attempted murderer many times over. You know what I'm saying? So let's just think about it in that vein. Are we about canceling everything? You know what I mean? Is that how we deal with our situations now, where we just say, okay, that's offensive? Okay, because I remember Warner Brothers came out with a 75th anniversary pack back when folks used to watch DVDs. And in this DVD, they've got this long-winded apology where they're apologizing, and I don't know the words exactly, and they're saying, because of the times, there were certain things and certain actions and certain words that were acceptable because it was the culture of the time, it was the culture of the day, and they apologized. That has continued to perpetuate itself even unto this day in the 21st century. Now, my question about that has always been, is an apology good enough after you've made millions and millions and millions of dollars off of the rape culture, off of the racist tropes and things that you've displayed in your animated works? I mean, does it take more than an apology? You know what I'm saying? If I crapped on you for decades and then decided I wanted to apologize, and an apology is all I gave and was willing to give, does that make it right? Kind of reminds you of another situation where some indignities and wrongs have gone unaddressed in this country. Seems like there's a lot of that going on in this country, unaddressed wrongs. But I guess what I'm getting at is it depends on the observation of the individual about whether or not a cartoon should be canceled or anything in our society should be canceled. So who decides is my question. Who decides who is canceled and who isn't canceled? You know, are 50-year-old rappers canceled? Don't know. Are women who aren't willing to bare their bodies canceled? I don't know. It's a dicey thing, and I don't subscribe to it. I mean, for the record, to say we're canceling somebody, I just don't subscribe to that. I don't think it's necessary. If you don't like something, turn it off. If you don't like something somebody's saying, tell them you don't like what they're saying. If you don't like something somebody's doing, on and on and on. Just like that. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think that this cartoon cancel culture thing is way over the top? You know what I'm saying? Has cancel culture just, are they doing the most now? And somebody just need to be like, hey, y'all need to dial it back. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe to the Be Real with D Real YouTube page. I put out new videos at a rate of about 2 to 3 videos a week. So there will always be new content when you come to this page. This has been Be Real with D Real, y'all. Cartoon cancel culture. Cartoon cancel culture. I didn't realize you could say all of them things in the same sentence. I will be back with another interesting topic for us to peruse. And until then, y'all be good and be good to each other.